All right, last question. Just keeps on going, keeps being more homework. Find the last two digits of 9 to the 9 to the 9. 9 is congruent to 9 to the 9 mod 9. Or 9 to the 9 congruent to 9 mod 10. Hey, Big Pepe. Didn't you pull an all-nighter? You fell asleep last stream? What time of day is it for you? You're in Pakistan? Hello, P4CE710. Why do people have such hard to say names? Dude, pick a normal name for your account, like Johnny. A Tau X. Okay. 9 to the 9 congruent to 9 mod 10. 9 to the 9 to the 9. Notice the fact that 9 to the 9, they're basically giving me the answer, is congruent to 89 mod 100. What's up, Anarkin? Did you buy a membership? Oh yeah, you did. PC? Yeah, that it's not clear what your name is at all, man. It's super unclear. Gotta add some texture to my hair. There we go. Photogenics are important. Gotta keep the girls watching. Sorry, not girls, I mean girl. Okay. Well, 9 to the 9 to the 9. Unclear, just like my future. Hey, everyone's future is unclear. Unless you are doing something really predictable. Get 9k plus 10. Oh. Nine to the 9. Exactly, 9 to the 9. Congruent to 89. Mod 100. Well, so I mean, we could split this. Scrolling brain rot in bed. Yeah, but like at least you know that's bad. Like some people just don't know that's bad. They say in Buddhist wisdom, like, if you have a problem but you know what the problem is, that's difficulty. That's not really a problem. If you have a problem but you don't know that you have a problem, that's a problem. So I think you'll be okay. Mod 100 is basically mod 4 and mod 25. That's a cool fact, yeah. So this is the same as 9 to the 9 times 9 to the 10k. Okay, that looks wacky. Mo 9 to the 9 mod is congruent to 89 mod 100. You forgot you remember. I've been taught the Euler totient. I never know how to say that. I mean, yeah, in linear algebra, or abstract algebra, but it's been a minute. And I don't think we're expected to know it for this class, but also I could get away with using it. They could have an audio clip. Okay, how do I play it?
Euler totient.
Totient. Totient. Totient. Okay. What does this bad boy do again? Count the number of positive integers up to n that are relatively prime to n. Why would you want to do that? What's the goal? That Euler guy was pretty fucking good at math, I guess. So this is equal to 9 to the 10 to the k. And then what does that become equal to? Well, 9 to the 9. Congruent to 89. Euler totient for modular congruent systems. What's good, Martin? So what is this congruent to? 9 to the 9 is congruent to 89. What's 9 times 10? Or 9 to the 10, no. Uh, 9 to the 10. Which is just ugly. Well, isn't it congruent to 89 times? Uh, 9 to the 10 to the k. Which 9 to the 10 is congruent to 89 times 9. Which is 1 mod 100. Why is 9 to the 10 congruent to that? Oh, because there's just one more 9. Yeah. Times 1. Well, I should say times 801 mod 100, which is 1. And then if we have 89 is congruent to, if 9 to the 9 to the 9 is congruent to 1, or congruent to 89 mod 100, does that tell us the last digits? Why would that tell us the last digits? Can someone explain the math behind that? I'm gonna make tea real quick. Day 2 being dressed like a poor. Hey, cashmere sweaters are nice. I had this dream that I got chased by like rabid dogs in Afghanistan, and then it was very vivid. I hate when people talk about their dreams, but it was kind of unusual. And so I was like running, and I found like a stone wall that was like partially collapsed, but it was like just high enough that I could like jump up and grab it and like do a pull up on top of it. But it was like at a like Leaning Tower of Pisa angle, so I was like lying on top of this stone wall, but these like dogs were like jumping up on it, like trying to get to me, and it was like a little slanted, so they were like kind of able to run up it, and it was like, oh shit, I gotta get to like a higher one of the walls, and luckily it was connected to some other walls, so I was like walking up them, but then they like started to collapse, and then I got like yeah, just eaten alive by rabid dogs. It wasn't the nicest experience. Now, do you have a number with digits N1 and and N1, A0? This is just the NA minus 1 dot 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 A200 plus A1 A0 modulo 100. It's just the last two digits. Yeah. Yeah, I see. All right, last question. Prove that no integer whose digits add up to 15 can be the square or a cube. No integer whose digits add up to 15. That's a real interesting question. Whose digits add up to 15. Is this like recognizing that congruence, like equality, CD plus KM, whose digits add up to 15? Well, what does it mean for something's digits to add up to 15? Do you know some facts about digit sums? No, I don't really know many facts about digit sums. Are you starting a channel in Narkin? Private Vladimir. Privet. If you want my advice for a channel name, what I wish I had done is instead of my name, which is fine, but it's easy to find me, and it's also not like extremely memorable for some people. I would do is pick like a couple of words that form a weird, memorable combination. Pick like a simple mnemonic that you enjoy. Like, I don't know, kind of adjective noun works well. Like kind of unusual adjective, kind of unusual noun, as long as it's like memorable and it's somewhat related. Yeah, it's hard to think of one off the top of my head, but it really helps a lot of people remember your channel to have like visual association. You know, like if you just take any object you see, you know, like here's a good example. Like the channel Black Pen Red Pen is like a very simple, easy to remember name. You're like, you just visually kind of think of what that is. Toasty strudel. The only fact to be used here is if Sn is a digit of a sum, then Sn is congruent to n mod 9. If Sn is a digit of n, is congruent to n mod 9. The proof of this is if n equals 10 to the k, a to the k, n equals 10 to the k, ak plus a0, where ai are all digits of n, then note that mod 9, 10 equals 1. So all the powers of 10 become 1, and the representation of n is congruent. Glad to have you, Neptune. Are these still problems from yesterday? Yeah, they are. I'm just doing this one. Prove that no integer whose digits are add up to 15. For a Narcan, like steel pill bottle. Like what a weird channel name. No one would forget that. That's just an example. Like just like innocuous household objects. I don't know. Proof this isn't important. Can you see how this is useful in the problem? Only fact we'll use here is that if we have a digit is sum of n is congruent to mod 9. Sn is a digit of n. So Sn of 15, then it's congruent to mod 9. Uh, Not digit, the sum. Oh. It's congruent to 15 mod 9. Can't we remove the copy of 9 from 15 and say it's congruent to 6? Sum of the digits of n. See a Neptune. Man, love your channel. Just found it a few weeks ago. Streaming my coding stuff in university tasks. Do you have advice? I would say, like, it's nice to have a YouTube channel before you start streaming, just so you have people that'll watch you. And yeah, it's a big help to stream with people when doing homework. It makes it a lot more fun. We can forget about the digit sum. N is congruent to Sn mod 9. Why are you so fancy, Vladimir? Why does it matter? We can forget about the digit sum. N is congruent Sn mod 9. Isn't Sn the digit sum, though? Divisibility by 3 and 9. So n is congruent to 15. Oh, Sn equals 15. N is congruent to 15. thermoses are very dirty. Maybe I'll stop using a thermos then. Maybe that's why I was still sick all these days later. Shit. Sn. What can you say about n mod 9? Congruent to I guess I'm not seeing that connection. Suppose n is a number of digits. So n equals 15, not n equals 5. Yeah, I see that. So you know that 3 divides n, but 9 does not divide n. So find a contradiction. It's supposed to be a perfect square. Suppose square I mean, isn't that just a contradiction? 9 divides n, but, or 9 doesn't divide n, but implies 3 doesn't divide n, but 3 divides n. Which is a contradiction. And then we also have to show that it's never a perfect cube. Suppose towards contradiction that n is a cube. I mean, the same logic works, right? I mean, if like, it doesn't make sense for 9 to divide it. Same argument. Okay, so I guess the big trick here was recognizing Sn is the sum of digits, and then I guess this trick I'm a little shaky on how it actually worked. You explained it earlier, but effect used here is that if the sum is a digit sum of n, then Sn is congruent to n mod 9. And then Sn is congruent to n. Mod 9. Proof of this is that n equals 10k plus ak plus a0, where ai are digits of n, then note that mod 9, 10 equals 1. So all the powers of 10 become 1 in this representation of n, so n is congruent to ak plus ak plus... Okay. I see, yeah. Doesn't make sense. Isn't a valid mathematical argument, though. You can shorten the proof by saying 3 divides n, but 9 does not divide n, so n can't be a perfect square or a perfect cube. Sn denote the sum of digits function, then Sn equals n mod 9. B2 a number, you should say use the concept of square or cube. That should clue you into the fact that something's missing. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Dean, actually. Nowhere do you use the concept of a square or a cube. That's a good thing to point out. Yeah, but no, the proof is not done. Yeah, morally, textbooks will require you to use every concept given. Yeah, I had a math teacher that said, like, always use the given. Read the directions, use the given. So why is a perfect square a perfect cube involved? If 3 divides n but 9 does not divide n, well, what can we say? If 3 divides n and n is a perfect square, then what Pepe is saying, you can shorten the proof by just saying 3 divides n, but 9 does not divide n, so n can't be a perfect square or a perfect cube. Like, I don't get exactly why. What can you say about the square root of n in terms of divisibility? Well, the square root of n is divisible by something. So 3 divides k squared. Which implies 3 divides k. Could we do this? This feels really janky, but which implies 9 divides k squared, like square both sides, which implies 9 divides n. Contradiction. If you don't see why it's true, you should prove it. Yeah. N equals k squared for some k, and if 3 divides n. Important to realize it's not actually janky. Can you do exercises from... If you send me a link to that textbook, we could maybe do a couple, yeah. Okay, and then if... I mean, the argument's going to be the same. If n is a perfect cube, then n equals j cubed. Implies 3 divides j. Implies 9 divides j squared. How do we get the extra copy? Well, we can just say j squared, because we can have extra copies here, and that's fine. Well, j squared proof by exhaustion. Can you write my thesis for me, please? But what if I replace 15 by 1014? Now that method is kind of screwed. What do you mean? Oh. Valid mathematical proof. Man, I like Vladimir. Uses OpenBSD, says C is based, offers 10 grand for OnlyFans, has nice Russian manners. This guy is a Chad. Okay, the algebra is a little fuzzy, but I think it's fine. C89 and C99. Yeah, lots of respect to Vladimir. He's a respectable gentleman. Except for the OnlyFans thing. That's kind of funny that he's he's so serious about manners and then drops that bombshell. Wait, also, like, aren't there hella combinations of numbers that add up, digits that add up to 15? Like, aren't there infinite digits that add up to 15? Color scheme. Oh, you're thinking of doing Typst for math? Just the syntax is way better. It's just way faster. The tooling is better and nicer. I like it more overall. We need like a... Is there a way to get the date in Typst? Date time dot today. Oh, that's nice. Dot display. Yeah, that's good enough. So I'll say Sylvan Franklin number theory. Put this in a line left, a line right. LaTeX is better than Typst. I don't know about that one. That one I might. Like, why though? Give me an actual logical argument. Pretty sure I missed a quiz. Quiz 15. It's worth 1 point though. Behind the neat algorithm. Two parents each embed a collection of sub-solutions to a given problem, increasing the probability of one copy of each sub-problem, making it into each offspring, and decrease the probability that two copies. Two parents each embody a collection of sub-solutions to a given problem, decrease the probability. Well, why would we want to decrease the probability that two copies of some subproblems and no copies of another subproblem? Man, this is wicked difficult. Does anyone understand the neat algorithm? I've not seen this lecture. I have to watch it. I feel like those arguments are all like too dogmatic and opinionated. Like there's some good software written in Rust. Dilax. Tilax. Bidirectional. AST based. Wow, that's impressive. That's a tough project. Give them a star. What is real life? What? Weird. I wanted to get my prelude working. And Typst is missing the Sol CR34. What? Blocked. What is this library? I don't know if I want to look that up. All right. I had a prelude file. Hopefully nobody clips that. Hey, wouldn't it... Isn't it, like, good that I fell for that, though? Like... I'm never trusting Quagsire again. Nerdy Quagsire again. How do I get... Okay, so I have to look at Typst import rules. These show rules have to work as well as these. So, scripting, maybe? Nah, import. Module system. Module type. Import utils. Import. How do you do show rules across files, though? Across modules. It was good content. No, I'm looking for like a forum post. Show rules on rendering allows show and regex to mass across styled. Oh. This might be it. Which can be imported into a theme. These two posts. In case you still don't understand, example set and show functions and styling only work in their own scope, which is styling. Therefore, they cannot style other parts of the document. To fix this, you need to write a function that takes content and returns styled content. And then show styling for body. Okay, so let styles. Styling. I'm thinking of rewriting my personal website using Typst and compiling it to HTML or PDF. Imagine someone's website is just a PDF. Nerdy Quagsire, dude, I'm literally a pro rage baiter, and I haven't been mad for like 7 years. I know what you're trying to do. And also, like, to you based LaTeX guys, well, just think about the fact that, like, some software at one point was new. At one point, C was, like, the trendy, cutting-edge new thing, and people were like, you're using C instead of COBOL and Fortran, or, I don't know, whatever languages came before. And, like, it was considered bleeding edge and janky, and that's how I see Typst. And like I'm not like one of those Rust bros who's using all like rusted out versions of everything. I'm literally writing this in Vim. Text editor that's like 50 years old. Okay, like 30 years old. You really got me with that nerdy Quagsire. That Sonic Rule 34. That dropping that with a package was clever, I will admit. The styling is it, and then we just render it. So if we import prelude, import. Thing is, we can't go up a directory. We get permission denied. Or maybe we don't. Cool. All, and then we do show styling. Does that work? Yeah, it does. Or maybe it doesn't. Why is this not working? Preview is not updating. Error failed to load, access denied. Yeah, it's a permission error. So the LSP imports it fine, but why? That's so annoying. I wonder if there's an issue to that. Surely there's a workaround. Use functions from parent file and child file. I don't have access due to privacy restrictions. Even if you're compiling from that directory, you need to adjust your project root or restructure your files to avoid this limitation. I think I do this in .env Typst root. So you can export this environment variable, but I don't want to like source this every time. Like I only want this. Type so good, import is trash, bro. Shut up. From parent and child file. Usual setups to have a main file with everything show rule that applies to your template includes. Yeah, here's what I'm going to do. This is weird and janky, but I think this is the better solution. So I'm just going to have a flat directory structure. So what I'm going to do is use some Vim magic. So what I'm going to say is norm, go to the beginning, and then say real analysis dash. And then we're going to move all those. And then I'm going to select all of these, delete them, go up, paste. Right. Okay, and then we're going to go into number theory. We're going to delete all the PDFs. And then template is dumb. I don't need that. GCD. Don't know what that was really, but whatever. And then I'm going to go and run norm I number theory dash. Delete those, paste. We're good. Delete these two directories. Yes. Prelude should now import correctly. So in each of these files, we can select, open a bunch of new tabs of them, and then, I mean, these are all old homework assignments, so I don't really care, but let's just try in this one. We can't search through tabs, I guess. Let's delete around that and then import prelude. Okay, it worked, I think. Show okay, that broke. Why did that break? Oh, it just set the page color to something new. So if we do this at the very top, we're good. Tab do. Vladimir, are you a Vim user? I was thinking about tab do, but also like they're all different and they're all in different places. But yeah, that's basically fixed. All right, I'm gonna go. I have to go buy some stuff and then go to class. Thanks for the homework. Oh, I should probably push that. Restructure. Buy a necktie. How much do neckties cost? Like $50? I don't really like dressing that fancy, to be honest. It feels weird because no one else does it in the US. Zinc maxing always works for me. Okay, I'll go get some zinc. I'm just about to go get hella grains. Check these bad boys out. I'm about to fill these up with grains. All right, I'll use that €50 on a necktie just because you requested it, I guess. I feel like I'm not in grad school enough to get away with that, though. I'm not pretentious enough. I feel superior to the others. No, that would make me